Hi everyone, Indian economy is the first paper of JIB, and now we are going to discuss Unit 9 of Module in Indian economy, which is International Economic Organizations, World Bank, IMF, etc. Now, what are the objectives of this unit? IMF, International Monetary Fund, World Bank and its group members, World Trade Organization, India and WTO relationship, regional RECP, which is Regional Economic Corporations, recent international economic issues. Now the first topic is International Monetary Fund, right? Before that, going to that, we are discussing international economic organizations, which is World Bank, IMF, etc. What is the main purpose for these? There are three important international economic organizations which serves the globe by encouraging development, providing technical and financial support, financing, settling disputes, facilitating agreements, and so on. Here, what these organizations serve: encouraging development. They provide technical and financial support. These will help us. First, we are going to discuss International Monetary Fund. It is a long-term growth. It is a long-term growth. At present, it has 190 of its member nations. When it is formed, July 1944. When delegates from 45 countries met in Bretton Woods, New York, to agree on a framework for international economic cooperation, when 29 countries signed an article of agreement. The 14th General Review of Quotas 2010 aimed at realigning member country quota shares, emphasizing shifts to development, emerging market and developing countries that were underrepresented earlier. India became a member of IMF. When India became a member in IMF, it's December 27, 1945. India became a member in IMF. Now, what is the functions of IMF? It is surveillance over members' economic policies. This topic is very important, so just focus more. What are the functions of IMF? Surveillance over members' economic policies, financing temporary balance of payment needs, combating poverty in low-income countries, mobilizing external financing, strengthening the international monetary system, increasing the global supply of international resources, building capacity through technical assistance and training, dissemination of information and research. These are the functions of IMF. India's economic relationship with IMF. India is a founding member of the IMF. We know that ex officio governor on the board of governance of the IMF. Who is this? Finance Minister. During 2008 global financial crisis, India got around $4.5 billion from the IMF SDR to combat. What is the purpose for this? To fight for economic slowdown. India's current IMF quota is SDR 13,114 billion, which places top 10 largest quota holding nations, our India. As a result, it is the IMF's 6th largest quota. What is the rank of our India? It is the 6th largest quota handling member. Next, special. What is SDRs? We have seen here, right? What is SDRs? It's special drawing rights. SDRs created as a supplementary international reserve assets in the context of Bretton Woods fixed exchange rate system. The collapse of Bretton Woods system when it collapsed 1975. SDRs was initially defined as equivalent to 0.888671 grams of fine gold, which is equivalent to $1. After the collapse of Bretton Woods system, it is redefined as a basket of currencies. They may ask, what is the basket of currencies? You have to say it's SDR. Special drawing rights was redefined as a basket of currencies. The SDR basket have to meet two criteria. One is export criterion and the second one is freely usable criterion. What is export criterion? A currency meets the export criterion if its issuer is an IMF member. If the issuer is an IMF member or a monetary union that includes IMF members and is also one of the top 5 world exporters. When currency meets export criterion, the issuer is also an IMF member that includes IMF members and is also one of the Top 5 world exports. What is freely usable criterion? When a currency is to be determined freely usable, how? It has to be used to make payments for international transactions and widely traded in the principal exchange markets. Only those are called freely usable criterion. These are used in fund financial transactions. Following these decisions, the Chinese RMB joined the US dollar euro, the Japanese yen and the British pound sterling in the SDR baskets from October 1, 2016. And the 3-month benchmark yield for China Treasury bonds was included in the SDR baskets. Next, World Bank. Emerged from the Bretton Woods Conference, officially known as the United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference held in 1944 in Britain. What is the aim of World Bank? Assisting in the rebuilding of Western Europe following World War II devastation. World Bank is the largest developing bank in the world. Only sovereign governments and projects supported by sovereign governments are funded directly by the bank. World Bank activities, what they mainly focuses on human development like education, health, Swachh Bharat Mission, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, etc. In agriculture and rural development like irrigation, rural services, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, watershed management project, Niranchal, etc. In poverty alleviation, Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. Environmental protection like pollution reduction, establishing and enforcing regulations, National Ganga River Basin project, and many more. Now coming to the infrastructure, it's roads, urban regeneration, electricity, port modernization, and new port development under Sagarmala. It's nothing but the coastal and governance, anti-corruption, legal institutions development. IBRD concentrates on middle income. IBRD concentrates on, it is IBRD full form is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Which concentrates on middle income and credit-worthy poor countries. The IDA, which is International Development Association, focuses on world's poorest countries. World Bank Group headquarters is in Washington DC. What are the how many agencies in World Bank? There are 5 agencies. They may ask you which of the following is not an agency of World Bank. So just remember this. First, IBRD, which is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Development Association, IFC, International Finance Corporation, MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, ICSID, International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. India is one of the founder members of IBRD, IDA and IFC. World Bank Group is owned by its member countries who contribute its basic share capital and having voting rights proportionate to their shareholding. First, International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. This was introduced in the year 1966. The aim is to mediate and resolve legal disputes. In the name itself there is a disputes right, which is a resolutions right. So it is a mediate and it resolves the legal disputes between international investors and states. It is an autonomous and multinational specialized entity established by a treaty negotiated by the executive directors of the International Bank for Reconstruction, IBRD, used to stimulate international investment and alleviate non-commercial risk. Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. This is the second. I forgot to highlight this. Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency is the second leg agency which encourages foreign direct investments into developing countries by protecting investors against non-commercial and its Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. 1 minute, okay. This is used to attract investment. It was established to supplement both private and public investment insurance sources against non-commercial risk. What is the purpose of International Finance Corporation? It encourages private sector investment in developing nations What is the main purpose? Alleviating poverty and improving people lives. It shares the primary goal of all World Bank Group institutions for improving quality in life in developing member nations. IFC is the world's largest multilateral source of loan and equity financing for developing world private sector institutions. India is one of the IFC's founding member. IFC's single largest country exposure is to India. Next, International Development Association. It was established in the year 1960. The main aim is to support the world's poorest countries responsible for developing long-term interest-free loans to around 80% of the world's poorest country. The IDA repayment period is 25 to 40 years, which is within a year of 5 to 10 year grace period in between. IDA offers major debt relief through heavily indebted poor countries initiative. And also it primarily supported by the contributions from the government of its wealthier members. Okay. Next, International Bank of Reconstruction and Development. It has 189 member nations. The main aim of this is by providing loans, guarantees, risk management solutions to middle income, or as well as coordinating responses to regional and global crises. Its primary mission is to provide financial and economic policy guidance to middle income countries as they navigate the path to increase prosperity. Next, India and the World Bank. Except ICSIDs, India is a member of 4 of the 5 World Bank Group components. In ICSID, India is not there. Remaining 4 agencies, India is a member. Borrowing from the World Bank has the advantage of providing low-cost, stable financing with extended maturity periods. India has received World Bank funds mostly through IBRD and IDA. World Bank has started assisting India in 1948 when funding for the agriculture missionary. What is the first funding from World Bank we got, which its agricultural missionary project was granted? In 1957, the World Bank established a recent resident mission in India. These are the differences between IMF and World Bank. IMF is a single institution where World Bank comprises of 5 institutions. Remember these 5 institutions, it is very important. IMF oversees the International Monetary Fund, where World Bank promotes the economic development of the world's poorer countries. IMF promotes exchange rates, International Monetary Fund, right? So exchange rate, monetary stability in its member countries and globally. World Bank developed through long-term financing of development projects and programs. IMF assists with BOP bailout funds by providing short to medium-term credits, where World Bank encourages private enterprises in developing countries through its affiliate, the International Finance Corporation. It has insurance on arbitration rings, MIGA, ICIT. Next, in IMF draws its financial resources principally from the quota subscriptions of its member countries, where World Bank, IBRD and IFC acquire most of their financial resources by borrowing from the international bond market. IDA gets donations. Next, World Trade Organization, GATT. General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade was signed by 23 nations on October 30, 1947. Where it has located in Geneva. It was went into on January 1st, 1948. India was a founding member of GATT. And also from 1948 through 1994, 8 rounds of GATT was completed. After that was considered during the 8th GATT cycle, which is 1986 to 1994, last cycle 8th, commenced in Uruguay and finished in Geneva, popularly called as Uruguayan round. As of June 16, 2022, World Trade Organization has 164 members. The headquarters is in Geneva. WTO's top decision-making body, the Ministerial Conference of Trade Commerce Ministries, meets roughly every 2 years. WTO is seen as a watchdog of international trade, facilitating the smooth and rapid movement of goods across borders and promoting multilateralism. What are the responsibilities of WTO? In the Article 3 of the WTO agreement, there are 5, which is to facilitate the implementation and administration and operations of agreements, including multilateral trade agreement, to serve as a forum for negotiating, to oversee the mechanism to resolve disputes among members, to monitor trade mechanisms, to engage with the IMF and World Bank, to promote global economic policy coherence. Next, what are the functions of WHO, WTO? It is 6 functions. One is administrating WTO trade agreements. Second is providing forums for trade negotiations, handling trade disputes, monitoring national trade policies, technical assistance and training for developing countries, on cooperation with other international organizations. Here we have to remember that full forms they mark sometimes like trade related investment measure streams, TRIPS, trade related intellectual property rights, sanitary and phytosanitary measures agreement on, multi-fiber agreement. India emerged as the most outspoken proponent for the developing country in the 2010 in Doha. The summit was declared a success after 102 nation delegates agreed to a new round of the trade negotiations, such as environment, competition, and investment. Next, what does WTO 12th Ministerial Conference says? It was held in Geneva on June 17, 2022. The major discussion is on response to fishing subsidies, food insecurities, and COVID vaccinations. After a 9-year hiatus, struck an agreement with WTO has an agreement with fishery subsidies. It was also decided that the next WTO ministerial meeting, or no later than March 2024, would file a final solution to the issue of the continuation of the moratorium on imposing customs duties on electronic transmission of products. And also they are deep sea fishing illegal, fishermen, farmers, these are going to be the primary beneficiaries on WTO 12th Ministerial Conference outcomes. The sovereign sites of EEZ, exclusive economic zones, have been firmly established, which is a big achievement for India. Next, RECP, which is regional economic corporations. It is a one way to accomplish a global economy which encourages technology and investment. It has a strategy for promoting economic growth and ensuring economic security within a certain geographical region. It has been based on equity, equality, and mutual gain. It should be based on deliberation, consultation, and the consensus. European Union is established in 1993 following the signing of Maastricht Treaty. It is a collection of 28 nations working together as economic and political bloc. EU was awarded to the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011 for its contributions to the causes of peace, reconciliation, democracy, human rights in Europe. Eurozone. It was founded in 1999, comprised of 19 of the 28 EU member nations, which has chosen euro as their single currency. And also legal tender. European Central Bank is the Eurozone Central Bank, and its headquarters is in Frankfurt, Germany. SARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. It was founded in the year 1985, which was based in Kathmandu. It has 8 member countries, which is Maldives, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal, Afghanistan. South Asian Free Trade Area was established in January 1, 2006, which is used to encourage free trade among member countries. Next, ASEAN. ASEAN full form is Association of Southeast Asian Nations. It was located in Jakarta, Indonesia. It has 10 members, which are the Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar. The 39th Asian Summit was held in Brunei. During this year is nothing important. OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. It has comprising 13 oil exporting development countries. They have been the founding members of the organization, which in OPEC includes Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, Libya, UAE, Algeria, Nigeria, Ecuador, Gabon, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, and Congo. OPEC headquarters is in Vienna, Qatar. Qatar terminated its membership on January 1, 2019. OPEC headquarters is in Vienna, and Qatar terminated means Qatar had come out of the OPEC. G7. It was established in 1975. It comprises of 7 countries, which is Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK, and US. Its main aim is to debate and to solve global challenges with a particular emphasis on economic difficulties. G20. G20 was formed in 1999. What is the main aim? To bring government from developed and developing countries to address major issues concerning the global economy and financial stability. And also It has comprises 2/3 of the global population. 2/3 of the global population, 85% of global GDP, and more than 75% of global trade. These are the 20 countries which are in the G20: Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France. These are the 20 members of the G20. Next, OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It has roughly 32 member nations, which is headquarters is Paris. NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, comprises of Canada, US, Mexico. 3. It was established in the year 1994. In terms of GDP, NAFTA is one of the world's largest trading blocs. APEC, Asian Pacific Economic Corporation. It was introduced in the year 1989, founded in the year. It has 21 members of APEC. What is the purpose of APEC? To increase regional perspective by fostering balanced and also securing growth. Mercosur, it is a Latin American trade bloc. It has 5 countries, which is Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, Venezuela. These are the 5. Next, Indian Ocean Rim Association for Regional Cooperation. It was founded in 1997. It has 22 member states and 9 conversation partners in RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. It is a free trade agreement. It has 10 Asian member countries. These are the 10, and their 5 FTA partners. Was built upon the existing Asian plus 1 FTAs. BIMSTEC. The aim of BIMSTEC was accelerating shared growth and cooperation between them. It has a total of 7. BIMSTEC. The name itself says, number itself says 7. What is that? BIMSTEC. How many members? 3. 7. 7 members. What are they? 5 from South Asia, which is Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and 2 from Southeast Asia, Myanmar, Thailand. International economic issues. The major economic concerns affecting global economic dimensions are large scale unemployment, inflation, trade cycle, stagflation, sustainable growth, climate change, exchange rate, and the balance of payments. These are the major issues we are considering, major concerns that affecting global economic dimensions. This is the final concept of this unit. Hope everyone understands this. If everyone has any doubt in this video, you can comment below of this video and I will reply. If everyone understands this and like the video, so just like the video and subscribe the channel. Hope everyone has a good day. Bye.